All right, John, thanks. Time now for Just South of Buffalo here on the People's Newscast. And joining us now, State Representative Pat Harkins. Thank you so much, sir. Well, we've seen Pittsburgh area Teamsters that are picketing outside an Amazon distribution center, part of a nationwide strike. So I know that's something big for you is when it comes to labor. What do you make of all the happenings today?
I have been following this pretty closely, and I have some friends that are involved with it nationwide. But I was surprised this morning to get up at 6 o'clock to a bunch of texts from former coworkers at UPS and a number of people who are involved with this strike. It's very strategically planned. It's very smart on somebody's part. The Teamsters are aggressively trying to unionize Amazon nationwide, and I think this is a good step in the right direction for them.
What is it that you can tell us from sort of the inside? I mean, what's going on behind the scenes on it, Pat?
Sure, this is peak week. This is the busiest time. I always say this is comparable to the budget season in Harrisburg in June and July. But this is when you have the packages coming through, and you're going in at 7:38 in the morning, and you're coming home at 10 and 11 at night, and getting up every day and starting it all over again. But at the end of the day, this is crunch time for these companies. This will benefit UPS, this will benefit the Postal Service, and God forbid we don't say the F word, but Federal Express in my house. At the end of the day, this will crush a lot of these companies to take the overflow off them.
Does it surprise you as well, Pat, because this is the largest strike against Amazon, correct? That we've seen in the country.
It's a number of issues. It's number one, money, working conditions, as well as safety. I know we went on strike over going from 50-pound packages to 150 pounds.
Wow.
The public didn't understand that until they saw what we were trying to explain. Also, at that time, we were collecting cash, CODs, and they moved away from that also.
What is it, Pat, having been through things like this before, what is it like negotiating? And now, how do you come to an agreement with this?
Sure. The Teamsters were, it was my blood, it was in my blood constantly, and still is. Proud Teamster, and they fought for our way of life. I made a good living there, worked hard for that company. It was a great company, and I still work with them on some things. But yeah, negotiation times, you have to, stake out what you want and fight as hard as you can to get it.
But looking forward to 2025 now, Pat, and obviously being in the State House. I know labor is another big thing that you want to get past. What can you tell us on that front?
Labor's always been my passion. It always will be. Education, labor, and healthcare. I am going to push very hard again for my OSHA legislation. Hopefully we can turn some minds in the Republican-controlled Senate.
What's that about, Pat, though, your OSHA legislation? For those who...
That is, the public sector worker isn't covered by OSHA protections currently. In Pennsylvania, in 1972, under the Nixon administration, they passed OSHA standards nationwide for all workers, exempting public sector workers. Other states followed through, but Pennsylvania never did. I've been carrying the mantra on this for a number of years, and I'm not going to let up.
What is it going to be like, though? I mean, you have a one-seat majority, razor thin. You think you'll get it over the finish line?
I've been on the phone with a number of Republicans, a couple senators, trying to figure some strategy on how we can get it over the goal line. Nothing's insurmountable. It's just something we're going to have to address and work hard on.
Optimistic on that, State Rep.
Always optimistic.
And then, of course, real quickly, skill games also. What can you tell us about that?
That's something else. That's a passion. That's something that you brought to the forefront with that special piece a couple weeks ago.
I appreciate that, sir. Yeah.
And we've had a number of calls from both sides of the aisle. We're waiting to hear what the Supreme Court's going to do, if they're going to do anything. If not, we've got to take control and find out what works for everybody across the state.
So what you're telling everybody, State Rep, is that people are watching Erie News Now at 7 and 11 o'clock.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and the family. We appreciate it.